One of the greatest album track of all time. Stick to your main next bit. Pip's got this. And I can think of no more apposite intro music than turn off your mind, relax and float downstream, because Ken Campbell has ambled in. Good morning, Ken.
Morning.
That's as good a build-up as you're going to get. But hey, Bad Lennon coming in, giving you some fanfare. That'll be all right. You're here because you've got the History of Comedy Part 1 ventriloquism knocking about, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. It's it's a last chance to have a look at it.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Last chance? What's this? What are you going to do?
I don't know. I think I've finished with it now.
Really?
Yeah, it's come to its end. I'm just doing the last few days of it at the Sea Arts Centre.
Yeah, but you're not going to commit it to video and put it out in the modern style?
No, I don't think so, no.
That's the thing. It's like that fellow who does the paintings, his art, in the dust on the back of vans in Covent Garden. Have you seen that fella? He actually paints in dust on the back of the van. They're brilliant. But
really?
Yeah, but yeah.
At the end of that. I did it originally because I thought it'd be a good idea if ventriloquism came back.
Yeah, not a lot of good vents.
There's nobody young doing it, but now it's up and going a bit now.
A bit, but a lot of the turns, without some good, bad, and indifferent. But I think the last turn, in that sense, I saw not as a vent, of course, but when Les Bubb was doing his stuff, that was a good turn to go and see. But you don't often see. Unfortunately, almost Attila-like rise of the stand-up comic seems to have swept all before it. Nobody actually wants to.
Now, there's a sensational woman now who was, in fact, inspired by this very show I do.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
No, go on.
Well, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's Tom Conti's daughter.
Wow.
Nina Conti. Right?
Yeah.
Seems to be like a demure, well-brought-up, rather pretty girl.
Yeah.
And she's got this dementedly obscene monkey.
Ah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard of this.
Yeah. And she won the BBC Comedy Award in Edinburgh.
Under her own name. Did she really?
Yeah, Nina Conti.
Yeah.
Well, she was one of my very first ventriloquial students as a result of doing this show. But I mean, she was sensational from the word go. And she's got like a Peter Sellersy mind inside her head. Do you know what I mean? Like she tunes the different voices.
Oh, I see. Yes.
No, what I mean is, she can pick up anything and give it a daft.
But she wasn't a vent before she saw this.
No,
episode.
she'd never thought of it. She'd never seen it. I don't think.
Never seen ventriloquism?
Well, I did kind of avoid
it. In fact, you would have seen it,
but you decided it's time to go out. And
all we've had in the last, couple of decades is people sending up the ventriloquist show, which Sandy Powell did brilliantly, and now everyone thinks they can do that, making their head fall off. And
it's not all that brilliant when you watch it. I got that on tape, actually.
Was Sandy Powell there?
Yeah,
I think it's very good.
At the time.
No, I disagree. Didn't watch it too long ago, only about a year ago.
Really?
And I
was showing it to some students the other week. I got it on tape.
Yeah, but then again, perhaps you have to see the overall oeuvre of Sandy to realise it was just part of the palette, perhaps. But that's all you ever see, people setting up ventriloquism, as opposed to, like, Arthur Worsley. Where do you stand on the great Worsley, then? Look at me, someone I'm talking to. Arthur Worsley, for shame, Ken Campbell, the absolute iron horse of British ventriloquism through the 50s, and you couldn't turn on the Palladium without... He was the original, look at me, someone I'm talking to you. He was the Arthur Worsley. Who only died about 2 years ago. I'm telling you, Ken, I'm bringing this to you. You must get on your search engine there, Arthur Worsley. The greatest British ventriloquism, post-war ventriloquist, was Arthur Worsley.
What was his doll? Oh, yeah, I know. He never spoke.
He never. That's it. He never spoke.
It was only his doll who spoke.
He never spoke. Look.
Yeah.
And he gets more money than I do. The doll used to say as he looked at.
Yeah.
Look at me when I'm talking. Yeah, Arthur Worsley. Quite. There's the one who never spoke. What a tremendous vent. But is there nothing else you want to resurrect or bring around? Is there not a part 2? I'm saying History of Comedy Part 2.
Is it got part 1 ventriloquism? Yeah, I might do part 2 origins.
Origins, okay. Yeah.
Well, I'll go and see the origins. I think are the pygmies.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. But I did this investigating ventriloquism. Yeah. It turning out that ventriloquism is the oldest of all the arts.
The Maasai didn't use the pygmies as their dolls. That wasn't the way that worked. Then they'd have had something.
Possibly. Possibly.
Yeah.
But, ventriloquism precedes man on the planet. I.e., it was a ventriloquial planet.
Yeah.
And then... man emerged into it. Ventriloquism was already going on before we.
Some of the people. What are you talking about?
No, I can understand it. Some of the people who'd leaked out of the ooze. Never ask Ken what he's talking about, although the whole thing falls down.
No. That's not what. No. Ventriloquism was going on before man. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, I thought this was weird when you know, it's so. Listen, I can tell you this from when I was breeding ferrets.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but years and years ago it was, I came up with this hit stunt, which was sticking live ferrets down their trousers for world record lengths of time. But it was this thing to entertain the simple people of the North. Yeah. But it became international, and we were going over to Amsterdam, all over Germany we were going with it.
People forget where
but I couldn't bring the ferrets back. I had to get rid of the ferrets. Because of the quarantine laws, so I was breeding ferrets in vast number. But if you've got a whole load of ferrets that are very greedy, very vicious, very selfish, half-blind, overdeveloped sense of smell, but if you bung in one lump of meat into a business of ferrets, you had to go nuts with the smell of it, and they'd kind of tread in it, you know, not knowing where the excitement's coming. And then one ferret will find the bit of meat, and he'll lock onto it, and he'll freeze, and he'll make the noise of a ferret just like him, eating a bit of meat just like this, over there. And all the ferrets will go over about 6 foot away. Go, where's the meat? Where's the meat? All ferrets can do that, and it fools all ferrets, right?
You've seen this.
And if you look up your zoology, you'll see that weasel kind preceded man on the planet. Yeah, hence ventriloquism.
They can throw them.
Well, I mean, we can talk about the Mexican picar rat, who's similarly gifted.
And yourself, are you similarly gifted? I mean, everyone fancies themselves as a vent, but is it more important not to move the lips or to be able to throw the voice? Because when you can see someone who genuinely can throw their voice...
throwing the voice... It's kind of reckoned to be a conjuring trick, by the way. Throwing a voice, it's, in American books on ventriloquism, it says you can't do it. It's a conjuring trick.
Those little adverts in the back of magazines.
No, it's because your eyes and your ears are different. Listen, when there's you're driving a car, and there's ambulance or something somewhere, you know, the fire engine somewhere, you hear it. Yeah. You don't know where it is until you lock your eyes on it. Do you see? Your ears aren't directional in the same way that your eyes are. You need to look, right? So, looking, seeming as if you're trying the voice is like a conjuring trick, like looking where you're making a little voice and looking at it. However, there are the people who can throw the voice. Well, since there are weasels who can, you know what I mean? There are people who can, but there's very special people. These are like the Tuvans near Mongolia.
Please, hang on. Are you ticking all my boxes this morning? Hang on.
Oh, yeah. We can put the Tuvans on.
You see, unfortunately, this show, we don't broadcast. We're not for everyone. We don't broadcast for everyone. But certain people, this show is built for. This show is built for. And
it's called niche.
It is niche. And, you know, there's not everyone who wants to hear the Tuvans first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah, well, they're fantastic voice throwers.
And
they are fantastic. They are the king.
No indigenous music survives on its own. It needs us and we need them. And a bit of this is westernised Tuvan music. But this should have been a hit. This is genuine Tuvan to a beat. We have the raw stuff as well, but we find that this should have, and this would have broken the Tuvan market if it hadn't been for, you know, Will Gates and his pop idol cronies. What a groove! And that, I mean, you see, once you say Tuva on this show, I'm afraid all kinds of people come leaping forward saying, "Play it! Oh my God, play it!" I don't know if you've ever heard Maltese Anar music. It's the worst music in the world. It is really terrible because there's something redeemable in every, you know, and quite rightly, something redeemable.
So tell me you've got some in your bag.
Not Anar music. By the way, I was happy to hear you again say the word sensational a couple of times because when I used to do something of an impression of you, and I know it's made your blood run cold, it was always when you had that nail up McCoy's nose.
Yeah.
I'm applying the Dettol Sensation Seekers.
Sensation Seekers.
Oh, a moment of humour there, Sensation Seekers. I actually call it a nasal hair. A terrific act. And forgive me, I could not remember the name of the extravaganza at the Roundhouse. It was which had all that going on in it. You was at the Roundhouse, and I saw you in a show, and you had a fantastic title, as your things tend to have.
An evening with Sylvester McCoy, Human Bomb.
There you go.
That's what it was.
You see, and at the moment, of course, it's a history of comedy, Part 1, ventriloquism.
Yeah, I like this title.
And when you go and see a history of comedy, Part 1, ventriloquism, people think, oh, that's just the title of it. It's some umbrella for other things, but it genuinely is. Yes, it is a.
Well, it is. Yeah, we've got to bear in mind. See, like.
Go on.
Well, anyone talking about anything which they know about is boring.
Yes, that's true enough.
Yes,
right. It is. I tend to lapse into that with
the
70s rock music,
digressions.
but yes, it is,
yeah. When I was briefly performing in Canada, that's what they called me, a digressionist.
Good.
A digressionist of genius.
Yeah.
They call me. Do you see what I mean? So do you remember when, like, whatever a teacher is talking about, if it's the subject that's marked down that you're meant to be having, it's geography, the geography bit is boring. But it's when if you get him off the subject into quantum physics or something, it's interesting.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you kind of won.
Once he starts telling you about Pompeii and stuff, that's when he's got you, because you've gone into something else. But you could have held your own in any era. I mean, you'd have been pretty good, and perhaps you were good at the ice fairs and that. I should imagine you, as long as you had a box to stand on and 2 or 3 people there, you could have entertained, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, which is why it's quite galling this morning when, forgive me, whoever it is out in the office who gives the bit of paper, says, Ken Campbell is best known as Alf Garnett's grumpy. We'll ask you about how you feel that sort of stuff, because you have to. I mean, look at McCoy went on to be Doctor Who.
Yes, he did. And as a matter of fact, I nearly did.
No!
It got down to 2 people.
Not you and McCoy.
Me and McCoy, he got
really?
it. Yeah, and he
you
got
and Sylvester, and he got it.
Yeah.
Now, you will be a terrific Doctor Who, because I know they're still lobbying. Ken Campbell's with us. We're coming straight back to the Res in a moment. Amy's got more showbiz news, but this morning, in honour of our extravaganza, which takes place at the Shepherd's Bush Empire tonight, we are closing the book on our great album track giveaway. If you want your name next to them, and providing it hasn't gone, you can have it, but it'll be frustrating if you ring up. And please stop ringing up saying you want Shine On You Crazy Diamond. It's gone. It's gone a long, long time ago. Tom Waits remains open. Of course, here's some Tom for you to prove that. Tom Waits remains open on this. This is Charlotte Church.
Well, like a brewery, looking like a tramp. Ain't got a quarter, got a postage stamp. Been 5 o'clock shadow boxing all around the town.
Pretty good drum work, isn't it? So we've got that. We want pop stars when they lapse into foreign languages, even if it's only for a couple of words, like Psycho Killer, Qu'est-ce que c'est? When pop stars speak foreign languages, in honour of that, here's David Bowie.
Und der Haierfisch, der hat Zähne.
But if you know another pop star who's sung in a foreign language, 0207 224 2000, if they insert a little Spanish anywhere, we'll certainly have that.
Und McKees, der hat ein Messer.
And otherwise, it's the saddest songs in the world. Did you ever hang around with pop stars, Ken? During the late 60s and stuff? Were you privy to?
No, I never did. But I did encounter David Bowie before it was known he was anything.
Of course, yes. When he was
in Manchester. It was during the Ferret Down the Trousers days, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was this bloke with a guitar singing on a little arts roundup thing. Yeah. And the producer there, I remember a fat guy he was, he said, he was talking about how big this fella would be. He was predicting it then. Yeah, I couldn't see it.
No, it's before Space Oddity and all of that.
The bird guy, he just seemed to be a student with a guitar.
He wasn't doing the Lindsay Kemp walking against the wind stuff.
No. He was like singing depressed about depression.
Yeah, which is no good to anyone, really, is it?
Well, it didn't seem to me to be. But anyway, I was wrong. I mean,
but otherwise, you never were part of the psychedelic set.
No.
What were you in during the great beaten pop revolution then? Were you experimenting and stuff?
No, I wasn't interested. I didn't really get in until punk, actually. A friend of mine knocked on the door and he said, I guess you've been very lazy about punk. I said, yeah, I'd never thought about it. He said, come on. And he took me around everywhere. Yeah, it was up and going, and we had to go jumping and spitting a lot. I mean, we're middle-aged, really. And so we used to get beaten up a bit.
That was my genesis. No, indeed.
It was very exciting. But then it finished with Ian Dury. When we encountered him, he was just such a... I mean, that was just genius beyond belief, and I couldn't bring myself to spit at him.
He'd been knocking around a bit Ian as well.
Well, no doubt, but it was when I knocked into him.
Yes. And televisually, of course, now through TV ads and certainly, a bit more mainstream shows. But have you ever made any impression on television before?
I don't know. I've never made any impression on television. I'm kind of aware. I did some science shows. I love those.
Oh, you did the History Explained. Oh, that's a great series. Forgive me, Ken. Yeah. Do you remember these at all?
I remember.
You'd have to be watching the channels that you don't watch.
No. I watch a great number of the channels.
Reality on the Rocks, I thought was a good one.
Yeah.
Where I get to interview Stephen Hawking, who incidentally I interviewed in my socks in the park in my socks, and it came about like this because phenomenally he can, I don't know whether he normally does, but he can get to work on his own. Even though I think the only thing that works about his person physically is he's got a couple of fingers that work on one hand and, another finger on the other, and his eyelids. But with this little chair, he can get to work. He can manipulate.
So why were you in your socks?
Well, I'll tell you. Anyway, the idea was that I met him in the park so he could demonstrate this feat that he could actually get to work.
Just 1 second. What this was, Amy, it was a series that would ask sometimes the most basic questions that everyone's too scared to ask in case they appear stupid. And Ken would go around saying, yes, we take this as an accepted truth, but why is it? Why do we live? Why is a rock? Why isn't fire considered life? Things like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, why is?
Why is?
I mean, how come we're here and not nothing?
Exactly. Yeah. It was all of that. That was the starting point.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're in your socks because?
No. Well, anyway, so I was to as it were, seemed to meet up with Stephen Hawking in that park in Cambridge. River, and anyway, and start kind of talking to him. And then we had to go back and retake it because of the squeak, and they sent off.
What squeak?
Well, it was thought to be in his chair, in his wheelchair, and so it had to be sprayed a bit with WD-40 or something like that. And there was still the squeak, and then it turned out it was my new shoes. I had put on specially to interview him, so I had to take them off.
Oh, no.
And I was in the park with in my socks.
You ruined an interview with the greatest mind in the universe because
I know, but I was a bit nervous. But then once I was in my socks, it seemed.
And is it possible to chit-chat, if you like, with Stephen Hawking, not on an intellectual level, but can he converse just normally, or is it have to be programmed?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and he laughs a lot. I don't think he's got. I think his vocal cords don't work or something. So, but he laughs a lot
through the.
No. I don't mean he pushes a button and it goes ha ha.
That would be something. I'll get myself one of those.
Yes, his loudspeakers in the back.
Oh right.
So his voice actually comes.
But
out
he actually goes.
Yes, he laughs a lot. Yeah, and you kind of get the feeling when you're with him that he's like a wonderful Beano character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beano's. Oh, I see. Like Muttley the dog.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and he laughs a lot. Right?
Yes.
That was a belting series. Forgive me for overlooking that. Of course it was. Yeah, asking questions that needed asked, and then getting. Perhaps by the end of the show, you were no closer to discovering it, but you thundered along the way, and that was a terrific series on Channel 4, wasn't it? And you're going to actually try and teach ventriloquism. Now, Amy's looking for an act tonight.
Yeah.
Can you take this raw recruit and turn her into a top-line vent?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's looking at me like,
okay. Well, I could easily teach you to speak without moving your lips. That's lesson 1 I'll do for you, yeah? Right. 20 letters of the alphabet, believe me, you can say without moving your lips. You've got 6 killers. That's the M, the P, the B, the V, the W, and another one, the F. Yeah?
Okay.
Learn this sentence. This is a really difficult sentence to say without moving your lips, okay? Who dared to put wet fruit bat poo in our dead mummy's bed? Was that you, Verity? Okay.
Whoa,
say it along with me. Say it along with me. And notice how much your lips are going to move when you say this. Okay? With me. Who dared to put wet fruit bat poo in our dead mummy's bed? Was that you, Verity? Okay, crack this and you're there.
Right.
Who dared to? You can say who dared to without moving your lips.
Who dared to?
Who dared to?
Who dared to?
Put. That's not so easy. Put. What is a P? What is a P? P-E. A P is an explosion of air through closed lips.
It is.
E, followed by sound note. I'll do a Peter, slow motion. Eater. See? Now the eater bit you can say without moving your lips.
Eater.
It's only the bit which is difficult.
Explosive by label.
So you've got to find another part of your person to explode air through, hopefully on the top half.
Okay.
Right? So now if you hump the back part of your tongue, into the soft palate, right? Back part of the tongue, the soft palate, you've got kind of secret luscious lips in the back of the throat. Right? So you explode air through there. Who dared to cut? Not put.
No, but I'm going to have to hold you there.
Who dared to cut?
But it's not.
Who dared
is
to
that allowed?
Cut.
Is that allowed?
Cut. Well, how else are you going to do it?
Yeah, I suppose
You can say you can use a T. Tut. You can who dared to tut.
Yeah, that's true.
Who
enough.
dared to Clut. Wet fruit bat term.
No, there's no here.
Wet. Right, there's a spread of the lips on the what sound.
Oh,
Right. Imagine that, instead of that, HUH-00, think, huh-oo. Instead of going wah, go huh-oo, HUH-00.
Okay.
Who dared to clut, huh-oo, et. Instead of wet.
George, it's your class. I'm not getting involved in this. Where you go, Amy? Who?
Right.
Who?
Fruit bat poo. Not easy. but use TH for the F. Who dared to put wet throat? TH for the F. Throat bat. Bat for the B. You go to the back of the throat again. You know, like when you were a kid in the playground, a little kid, and they used someone to take a party of idiots past, and you go there like, that was true. I mean, awful, but you were practising in your ventriloquial B sound.
Yes.
Who dared to put wet throat bat? Poo. Who did it that poo in our dead mummy's bed? Mummy. Ngungy. Like the NG. The NG sound of singing. Ngungy. So it's not mummy, but ngungy.
Yep.
Who did it? Now, if you do it through your nose, right, you get quite a good effect. Who did they put wet throat bat? in our dead ngungy's bed.
You should see Amy's face.
Do you know what?
Was that you, Verity? Go on. Verity, with a sounded TH. Verity.
Okay, put it all together. And it is, Amy, and it
I really don't think I'm going to be ready to do this by tonight.
Yes, you will. How do you put that all together again?
I don't know. I think she preferred juggling.
No. Well, what a terrific masterclass it was. Come on. I now feel
Thank you very much.
I now feel I'm not going to feel threatened when I see ventriloquist dolls and all of that. And, do you go into the psychology of why they are traditionally threatening? Because they are, aren't they? There is certainly a tradition of ventriloquist dolls being odd and threatening. Is that touched upon in your masterclass?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's had a very murky history, ventriloquism.
Go on.
God, yeah, I mean, people have been put to death for it.
Including on the show over the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And but it's brought down empires, is it?
I mean, brought down empires, but I mean, like, if, you know, in the Witchfinder General days, you see, when you've got those young maidens, the possessed young maidens, you know what I mean, and you're working out how to get the voices out of them. Well, that was obviously ventriloquial vicars.
There's that wonderful old woodcuts where the poor woman's being tortured, and it says on the and there's a dog familiar is over here, and out of his mouth comes the little talks balloon, and he's saying admit to Satan, Pie Wacket, because that's her witch name, Pie Wacket, and over here is someone called Holt, and they are throwing the voices exactly.
Well, they're ventriloquial routines, see, all those, aren't they? Or were there spirits then that we don't have now? Well, possibly. I would say they're ventriloquial
We're actually
shows.
out of time, and it's the history of comedy part 1, of course, ventriloquism at the Battersea Arts Centre, and if that was just a taster, imagine, you know, once you've spent your £10 on your ticket for our show tonight, there's only one other show in town, and King Campbell is, as usual, at the helm. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We hope to see you again. Away you go.